Hey guys, time for another video. I'm going to do a little bit of a different video again today. Again, because I'm trying to move away from always doing videos about my health stuff, because we know it's not that great. So trying to, keep my channel active without always talking about that kind of crap, basically. So today I'm going to do something that I think is pretty important because it kind of irks me whenever I see it. I'm going to talk about this a lot of this and I'm going to put this in quotation marks when I do it, okay? I'm going to talk about this whole feminist and this burden of being attractive and this catcalling crap that I keep seeing. Geez, I feel like it's been posted on Facebook a lot since this summer for some reason. You just see a lot of people like, oh God, like my day was ruined, somebody whistled at me, or someone gave me a compliment, you know what I mean? Like, just ridiculous stuff. And I know there was a woman walking through Manhattan for 10 hours and about all the people that tried to talk to her or something. So, and of course, like I said, I put the quotation marks for feminist because I know not everyone is like this, but I feel like a lot of times when someone says they're a feminist or something, it's kind of just a excuse for their bad personality, or that they have a chip on their shoulder, or and they just want something to complain about, so they'll say they're a feminist as a cover. Kind of like a lot of times when you see someone, you'll see someone that says they're very religious and they feel the need to tell you about how religious they are, but in fact they are just kind of judgmental. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like, again, not everyone, so don't hate me, but you know what I mean. So, and of course, a lot of times I see that these same feminists will say that a man can't be sexually harassed, a man can't be objectified. And as someone that has been sexually harassed multiple times or objectified in my life, I think that is pretty ridiculous. And I just kind of felt, like I said, I'm not super, enthused to make this video, but I felt that it's important, so I wanted to make it, I guess. And, just because I think that's really fucking insulting, and I think I have different perspectives to give on this because I have seen both sides and multiple sides, basically. So I'm going to give you the backstory of why I'm saying what I'm about to say, okay? So growing up, I didn't have a terrible, awful life, but it wasn't a bed of roses or something like that, you know what I mean? I lived in a household, I was always told how worthless I was, I was never going to be anything when I grew up, which of course, made, once I got sick, once I started getting older, even older, much worse. But, that's the kind of life I lived, you know what I mean? Just you would never be anything in your life, you know what I mean? So establishing that background, I came from a pretty negative upbringing, you know what I mean? So predisposed to perhaps a pessimistic attitude. And to touch on an objectified point of view, in 7th grade I went through my awkward phase. And I'm sure a lot of people maybe do. And I was basically beat up at the bus stop, bullied, almost every day. I had rocks thrown at my face. I remember going home one day because a rock hit me and I had blood coming down. And I remember even in school, girls coming up to me in the middle of class and telling me how ugly I was in front of everybody. So again, there's a sense of being objectified, but in a negative way, right? Because of how I looked. Now, as I got older, became good looking, I guess you could say. And, I got that job as a model, blah, blah, blah. And even to this day, you know what I mean? I still, I guess I do pretty well for myself. A lot of times people will consider me cool, whatever, you know what I mean? So I was now objectified in a new way. And I've seen both sides, I'm just trying to say, of being objectified, kind of and where that might come from. And I'm just trying to say that I think it's really fucked up when people complain about being complimented and everything like that, because and that's not to say I haven't had anything bad happen, because I understand that, a lot of girls, there are creepy dudes that follow them around, you know what I mean? But that's a next step from being just calling out to someone and complimenting them. And I understand other bad things can happen, but the whole burden of being attractive and people getting pissed off that someone compliments them, I think is really fucking disgusting, actually. Because I can tell you, again, using my experience, you know what, I'd much rather being objectified how I am now than when I was younger in 7th grade. Do you know what I mean? Being told how ugly I was in front of the class. And even not that, let's say, I just think, what about like, everyone, not everyone, maybe a lot of people, they have like a fat friend, or maybe they're, dorky, ugly kind of friend. I don't know. That sounds terrible, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, those people, man, they could, like, and I remember when I was young, too, like, I just wish someone would compliment me and not make fun of me in 7th grade. You know what I mean? Because 7th grade was a bad time for me. You know what I mean? And, so when I see people complain about that someone thinks that they're good looking, or, like, they have a chip on their shoulder about it, you know what I mean? And, like, they'll try to use some cover of feminism to, you know what I mean? It's really fucking kind of gross, I think. And, and even say people that are in the hospital, say, like, of course, now that my health is not great, for many years now, of course, but, I'm thinking I'm in the hospital, and, and even all these other people while they're in the hospital, I can just imagine, like, wow, I just wish I could go out, hang out. I wish someone was complimenting me. I wish I was not stuck in the hospital all day. And that's how I feel a lot of times. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I'm in the hospital, I'm like, God, this sucks. You know what I mean? And I can tell you, every fucking time that I go out, and someone actually stops me and compliments me, you know what I mean? I appreciate it. And I'm not like an asshole about it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not like, God, my day is ruined. Let me post on Facebook that someone whistled at me. I thought I was going to be raped or something. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just really, it's fucking awful. And, and of course, and that's not to say that I've never had anyone do anything bad to me either because of how I look. Because even now, because I know there are both sides just to being objectified in a good way, right? Again, I know that, maybe a girl gets scared or something, that something is bad going to happen to them. But I think that's the next step. You can't judge someone and put your negativity on them, assuming, like, foreseeing that something bad is going to happen, because that's you being a negative person, I think. And that's really fucked up, and then throwing a negative vibe on that person that might have just been being nice to you. And I think it's really fucking awful. And, again, that's not to say that nothing bad can happen, or that, yeah. Because, bad things have happened to me. I've had, a lot of, I can't tell you how many dudes have wanted to beat me up because they thought I've had sex with all their girlfriends or something. It's like, even when I haven't, it's ridiculous. I have people, make up tons of lies about me. You know what I mean? I've had people talk shit about me while I'm in the hospital, having life or death conversations with my doctors just because of how I look. You know what I mean? I have girls that have messaged me saying they won't be my friend unless I have sex with them, and they'll talk shit about me, which they have. But say using that, so I've had a lot of bad things happen to me, actually, and like a lot of negative vibes have also been thrown at me. And of course, this isn't to say that I think I'm that awesome. Anyone knows that I am not a super confident dude or anything. But, so I'm just trying to say, like, good things and bad things can happen. But even so, all these bad things that have happened to me because supposedly I look cool, you know what? I would rather, I'm still getting good things that are happening to me. I'm not in 7th grade, you know what I mean, having rocks thrown at me, you know what I mean, dude? And so, and every time I'm in the hospital and I see other sick people, you know what I mean, it's just like, it makes me appreciate even more and want to force myself not to, got to keep walking, you know what I mean? And I know if anyone sees my vlogs or, it's getting harder to walk, my back has been just so bad, and it's hard to, it's just, and I dread the day getting older and getting sicker that I won't be able to force myself to stay as in shape as I try to do, to like not look as sick as I do, or as I am, I should say, and I'm not going to get those compliments, because the world's going to be a pretty depressing place, I think. And, so that's just what I'm trying to say. I just think it's really awful, you know what I mean? And I appreciate every compliment I get, you know what I mean? Even like I said, I think I've said it before, but I get messages from a lot of gay dudes. Like, I'm pretty popular with gay guys, I guess, right? But I'm not even gay. But you know what? When everyone comes up to me and they start complimenting me, you know what I mean? And they throw, like, good vibes on me, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a guy, or a girl, whatever. I think it's awesome anyway. And I think when, people throw their negativity on other things and just always assume something negative is going to happen, I think you actually have a problem. You have a chip on your shoulder, and it's wrong to like blame everyone else. Eventually someone has to come up and talk to you. You know what I mean? Not everyone can meet everybody. Not everyone in this world is going to meet everyone through like some propinquity effect, if anyone knows what that means. I know that's actually a pretty big word for me. I know I'm kind of lame, but not that smart. But anyway, you know what I mean? Eventually, people talk to other people. People are social. You can't throw. And also, when I think that people, get pissed off that someone compliments them too, it makes, not only does it make the other person feel bad, it makes the person feel like maybe they just didn't want to talk to me because I'm not good looking enough. And then that makes them it makes them feel like bad about themselves, which is, there's so much like negativity in the world just passing around. I mean, I'll give an example. So I was out, I'm going to try to like explain it. So I was out today, and again, not that I think that I'm this cool or anything, but this girl was walking by, and she was Myron. She was staring at me, and she was just like, walking by. She wasn't just staring. She wasn't looking straight. And she was like, boom, knocked herself right into this display, right? And so that's pretty cool, right? I took that as a good compliment, right? I was like, oh, that was pretty funny, She must have thought I was cool, right? So you might say that would be a time for me to go flirt with her or something like that. But of course, I'm just, all this like feminist crap and people complaining that people hit on them. And this isn't totally 100% why I didn't, but you know what I mean? I just have those like back thoughts of, being younger. Always told that I was nothing. I was never going to be anything. You know what I mean? That I was ugly. You know what I mean? And that kind of stuff has like poisoned me. And that's one of the reasons I'm not a confident person, which I also say, I'd rather be a unconfident person though, or insecure person as well, than someone that is an asshole and takes their life out on someone. So I guess that's also a view that I use to make myself feel better. But you know what I mean? All those negative vibes and everything, that makes me afraid to talk to that person, even though I'm pretty sure that girl probably wanted me to talk to her since she was staring at me to the point that she like bumped into this counter and knocked crap over. But anyway, so hopefully that made sense. I just think it's really awful, and I think it's honestly pretty disgusting. And it really makes me angry. Like I saw this one girl posted on my Facebook something like that, and boy, I don't want to say her name. I don't think she watches my Facebook, but she's super gorgeous. She has a super beautiful face, everything like that. And when I saw her post something like about the burden of being attractive, it just was like, man, it really made me depressed. I mean, I was just like, I was really down about that because it's just like, wow, dude, like, it's like, I don't know. It just made me really like bummed that people are like that. Especially like, I guess that makes me kind of sound like I'm judging all my friends, that all my friends aren't super beautiful or something like that. But you know what I mean? I just kind of like, man, do you have to like be like this? Don't post that. Don't post complaining that you're attractive. You know what I mean? It just sounds so awful. You know what I mean? I just think about when I'm in the hospital and, I hope I never understand where they're physically coming from. You know what I mean? That I will ever be like that in my life, that when someone comes up to me and starts complimenting me, that I will like have a chip on my shoulder and not like it. Like, I don't even want to know what that's like. And I've had bad things happen to me, which I forgot to even mention, Of course, I have girls that message me saying they won't be my friend unless I have sex with them, which is fucked up, but I try to take the positive side of that. I mean, I've had like a doctor even grab my own dick before. You know what I mean? Like, that is fucked up. So, especially when you see these women saying that, a man can't be sexually harassed. You know what I mean? I've had a ton of terrible shit happen to me. I don't want to make this video totally about me, all the terrible things that people have done to me, because you know what? A lot of people have done a lot of good things to me, and even the bad things, I try to take it came from a positive place, if that makes sense. So, yeah, and I just hate when I hear like it makes me sound kind of bad. I hate when I hear women talk about how like only a man can be like do all this crap, because honestly, I dare say more than the majority of the terrible people I've met in my life have actually been women. So, you know what I mean? I really hate the whole someone trying to act innocent, you know what I mean? Because, there's a lot of terrible people in this world, and it's not just men, and I don't think that, you can't just fucking throw your negative vibe on somebody for something that didn't already happen. I just think that's really awful. So that's what I wanted to say. Not normally what I make a vlog about, but I thought it was important just because I really think that's really awful when people do that. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know. You can't see ahead into the future, you know what I mean? I saw that video, you know what, all the people complimenting her, I thought that was fine. Obviously, 2 dudes followed her. That was creepy. That was fucked up, you know what I mean? But someone, just talking to you, dude, and it's just like, wow. It's so horrible for me to be like good looking and that someone else wants to start a conversation with me. It's just so awful. And it's really, I don't know, man, I just think that's really awful to complain about that. So that's what this was about. The end. Thanks.